Hey guys, I'm Ethan Moore from Stockroom Supply. I got a pretty cool blank here that Fretwood Mac made. He's a scroller, so these are all his scroll saw scraps that he's poured kind of some leftover epoxy into. So it's going to make for some really interesting pen blanks. But essentially what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how, with the Little Ripper, to process a chunk of wood like this into pen blanks. Now, one thing that you see I have here, I got the fence, the original Rikon fence here, set with the original resaw pin. What I've done here is this is my stop. So I'll show you how I got that set up here in a moment. But I got all these blanks set up at 3/4 of an inch. So that's how big I'm going to cut them. So I'll make my first cut, and then I'll show you how I use that little stop to make my next 3/4 of an inch cut. Okay. So now that I have my first cut here, this is why I have the resaw pin. So I'm going to loosen the track on my Little Ripper. I'm going to slide it into that pin, and that's going to get me exactly 3/4 of an inch on my next cut. So I'll make a bunch of cuts here to make all these boards, and then I'll show you what to do with those boards once you finish it. Now I got all my boards cut here. Now this board's a little bit thicker than 3/4 of an inch, but it kind of has on the back side a few inconsistencies, so I'm going to leave it a little bit thicker rather than bringing it down to the full or the smaller 3/4 here. So now that we have all these cut, I'm going to show you how to stack them up and make a whole bunch of pen blanks out of these boards. You can cut them all at the same time, which is really cool. Okay, so we'll loosen this out of here. Okay, this we're going to put right on top because it's not flat there at all. So our first cut, which is the bottom here. Oh, now I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. We'll do it in this direction right here. We're going to try to make these as square as we can on our table. Okay. We're going to lift the jaws up on a ripper. We're going to have these all stacked together, just like that. And this top board, same thing. We'll put this right on the top. Okay, so we'll square these all up. Now, because I know my blade is cutting perfectly straight, because I'm using the Little Ripper here, not a fence, what I can do is use the blade to line this block or this stack of boards up. So let me bring it up to the blade on the front side here. So I'm pretty close. Now we slide it over to the back. You see I got maybe 1/8 of an inch gap. Bring that up, we'll square the boards up again. Try to get it as close as we can, as parallel as we can with that blade. Lock that up. Bring it back to the front. There's a couple I can do a little better on. Top and the bottom here. Make sure it's all up against the blade. Okay. So then, same thing as before. Now that I have these all clamped together all at the same time here, we're going to bring this up against my stop, my resaw pin, lock it in, and we'll make some more cuts, get our blanks. Okay, so we got all those cut. So those are exactly 3/4 of an inch square. They turned out really, really interesting. So yeah, that's just a whole bunch of scroll saw scraps that were inlaid in some epoxy there. So yeah, now that we have those cut, Fretwood Mac, he can, Eric is his name, but he can go and cut those a little bit shorter, and he's going to go ahead and sell those. But those will be some really interesting pens when they go to be made into pens. So yeah, that's a little ripper. That's just a cool little tip if you guys are cutting pen blanks would be the biggest thing, but when you want to stack that lumber together and cut them all at the same time. Now you can do a similar thing if you want to take the live edge off a whole bunch of boards at the same time, stack them up. That's just how a sawmill does it. So you can treat the wood much like a sawmill does. So yeah, if anybody else has any questions, you can email me at info@stockroomsupply.com or just comment on the video. Now, if you want to see future videos, make sure you subscribe. I got a little bell button in the bottom right, I believe, that you can click that will tell you when a new video is being posted. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Stockroom Supply. Thank you much.